Have you ever wondered if, like, your past relationships are affecting your dating life now?
Oh, yeah?
Like, you've got this invisible relationship resume and
Nice.
everybody's kind of judging it.
Yeah.
Well, you're not alone.
Right.
And today we are taking a deep dive into a podcast
Okay.
called Dating History.
Dating history.
And they ask this very question.
Okay.
Can having too many relationships actually make you less dateable?
It's a really interesting question.
It is.
And it's one that sparks a lot of debate.
Yeah.
And dating history
Huh?
does a good job
Yeah.
of presenting both sides.
I like that.
The hosts, Emily and Jake,
Okay.
bring in their own experiences and even feature
Uh-huh.
some contrasting perspectives from listeners.
Oh, cool.
It's like you're getting a front row seat
Yeah.
to a lively dinner party conversation
I like that.
about love and relationship.
A relationship dinner party. I like it.
Yeah.
So where do they land
Mm.
on this whole too much baggage idea? Because that's the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, it's a common concern.
Okay.
They talk about how past relationships, especially the tough ones, can leave these lingering feelings
Mhm.
of hurt or create trust issues.
Right.
You know, it's like each relationship leaves a little fingerprint on your heart.
Yeah.
And sometimes those fingerprints can kind of smudge the view
Right.
for the next person.
So it's not just me then.
No, not at all.
But how does that baggage play out in, like, the real world?
Yeah.
How does it actually affect someone's dating life?
Well, you can imagine being on a date.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going great.
Right.
But then a tiny voice in your head starts whispering doubts
Okay.
based on something that happened in a past relationship.
Yeah.
And maybe you find yourself holding back, not fully opening up or misinterpreting your date's actions
Yeah.
because of past hurts.
Okay.
It's like you're carrying around this invisible shield
Wow.
that prevents real connection.
That's a good way to put it. And Emily also mentioned this thing called the comparison factor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the sneaky tendency to compare a new person
Okay.
to someone from your past.
Yeah.
Often an idealized version of them.
Right.
Maybe they had this amazing laugh or always knew how to make you feel special.
Right. Right.
And suddenly your current date just can't measure up.
Oh, I've totally been there.
Yeah.
It's like creating a mental highlight reel of past relationships.
Right.
And that sets these unrealistic expectations
Exactly.
for anyone new.
Nobody can compete with a phantom from your past.
Right. Exactly. And speaking of potential red flags,
Yeah.
Jake brought up the concern that a long list of short-term relationships
Yeah.
might make some people hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Like maybe it sends a message that you're not good at commitment.
That's a perspective they explore.
Okay.
While societal views on dating have evolved, the desire for lasting connection is still very strong for many.
Yeah.
So someone who jumps from one relationship to the next without much time in between
Right.
might raise eyebrows. It's like people are looking for some evidence that you can go the distance.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, does dating history just focus on the downsides?
Well,
Because that feels kind of one-sided.
that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
They actually dedicate a good chunk of the episode to exploring the flip side.
Okay.
How those past relationships, even the messy ones, can be incredibly valuable.
So how does dating history spin those past relationships into something positive?
Well, they make a great point
Yep.
that each relationship,
Uh-huh.
regardless of how it ends,
Yes.
offers valuable lessons. It's like you're collecting these little puzzle pieces
Right.
about yourself, about love,
Yeah.
and about what truly makes you tick
Okay.
in a relationship.
So instead of seeing those past relationships as failures,
Yeah.
we should be looking at them as learning experiences.
Exactly.
Oh.
Each relationship helps you refine your understanding
Um,
of what you want in a partner,
Right.
what you're willing to compromise on, and what are absolute deal breakers.
Okay.
It's like you're constantly updating your relationship blueprint
Yeah.
with each experience.
And Emily even argues that going through all those different relationship dynamics
Yes,
can actually improve your communication skills.
that's one of the most fascinating takeaways for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Each relationship requires you to navigate
Yeah.
different communication styles,
Mhm.
learn how to express your needs effectively,
Okay.
and set healthy boundaries.
Right.
It's like a crash course
Yeah.
in relationship communication 101.
Hopefully with less drama than a crash course.
Exactly.
But I can see how learning to communicate your needs
Yeah,
and expectations would be a game changer.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And beyond just communication,
Yeah.
Emily also highlights the resilience factor, learning to cope with breakups,
Right.
disappointments,
Yeah.
and those inevitable emotional roller coasters
Right.
can actually be a strength in the dating world.
So it's like those past heartbreaks,
Yeah.
even though they hurt like crazy at the time,
Right.
are actually building up our emotional muscles,
Yeah.
making us stronger
Mm-hmm.
for the next round.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
It's about developing emotional intelligence, learning how to bounce back from setbacks,
Right.
and not letting fear hold you back from putting yourself out there again.
This is making me rethink my whole perspective on past relationships.
It's interesting, right?
It's like they're not just baggage.
Right.
They're part of what makes us who we are.
That's the beauty of dating history. They really emphasize the importance of context.
Okay.
It's not just about how many relationships you've had, but the quality of those experiences and what you take away from each one.
And to bring this all to life, they shared some stories from their listeners.
Yeah, they did.
Because sometimes it's easier to relate to real-life examples.
Absolutely. And those listener stories perfectly illustrate how the impact of past relationships can vary so widely from person to person. It's like everyone's walking around with their own unique relationship playbook.
Okay. I'm dying to hear about those stories.
Okay.
What kind of experiences did their listeners share?
So one listener talked about how they'd been in a few serious relationships.
Okay.
And learned a lot from each one, but still felt weighed down by all that experience. Like it was hard to truly open up to someone new without comparing them to past loves.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're carrying around the ghosts of relationships past.
Exactly. It highlights the importance of processing those past experiences and not just jumping from one relationship to the next without taking time to reflect and heal.
So taking a break from dating to really process those lessons is important.
I think so.
Got it.
Yeah.
But then they shared a completely different perspective.
Yes.
From another listener.
Right.
Right. What was that?
This listener had dated quite a bit.
Okay.
And actually felt like all those experiences had helped them become crystal clear about what they were looking for in a partner.
Oh, wow.
They felt more confident and secure in their current relationship because of it.
That's so encouraging.
Yeah.
It shows that those past relationships, even if they didn't work out, can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and what you truly desire in a partner.
It's like all those experiences help them refine their must-haves list and weed out the things they were no longer willing to settle for.
It's like dating with a superpower.
Right.
Knowing yourself so well
that
you can spot the right person a mile away.
Yeah.
But Emily made a really important point about how everyone's wired differently when it comes to relationships.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach to dating and relationships. Some people thrive on having a lot of experiences, learning and evolving with each one. Others might need more time to process and heal between relationships. And that's perfectly okay, too. It's about honoring your own pace and emotional needs.
Okay, so we've heard about the potential baggage,
the
comparison trap, the communication superpowers, the resilience building aspects, and the importance of context and self-reflection. It feels like we've covered a lot of ground.
I think so.
But I have one burning question.
Okay, shoot.
How can someone with a, shall we say, colorful dating history move forward positively?
That's a great question. And it's something that dating history addresses head on.
Okay, good.
Their advice. Self-reflection is key.
So instead of just tallying up the number of relationships, we should be taking a deep dive into what we've learned in each one.
Think of it as a relationship audit.
I like that.
Look back at those past relationships, not with judgment or regret. But with curiosity. Ask yourself, what drew me to those partners? What were the recurring themes or challenges? What are the qualities that are non-negotiable for me in a relationship?
It's like turning those past relationships into valuable data points.
Exactly.
That can guide our future choices. I love that. What else does dating history suggest?
They also emphasize the importance of open communication with new partners. It's about being honest about your past. Not necessarily in every detail, but in a way that helps build trust and understanding.
So being upfront about what you've learned about yourself And what you're looking for in a relationship.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about letting go of the shame or embarrassment that can sometimes come with having a complex dating history.
Yeah.
And instead embracing it as part of what makes you unique and interesting.
That's a powerful shift in perspective.
I think so.
But how do you suggest someone approach that conversation with a new partner?
Right.
It seems like a tricky topic to navigate.
Yeah. It's kind of like saying, hey, I've been around the block a few times, and I've learned a thing or two along the way.
Right.
Here's what's important to me now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about being authentic and vulnerable.
Okay.
Which can actually be incredibly attractive.
Right.
And build a deeper connection with your partner.
It sounds like dating history is encouraging us to embrace our past relationships, warts and all, as part of our unique journey.
Right.
It's not about hiding them or pretending they didn't happen, but about integrating those experiences
into who we are today.
What's fascinating here is that it's about shifting our perspective.
Okay.
Instead of seeing those past relationships as missteps or failures, we can reframe them as valuable data points that have helped us grow and evolve.
So it's less about the number on our dating resume and more about the wisdom we've gained from those experiences.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that those experiences, even the ones that ended in heartbreak, have shaped us into the complex and interesting individuals we are today.
I love that.
Yeah.
It feels so much more empowering than thinking of past relationships as just baggage we have to drag around.
And it's a much more realistic perspective.
Right.
We all come into new relationships with a history.
Right.
And it's how we integrate those experiences that ultimately influences our ability to connect and thrive.
Okay, so let's recap what we've learned from our deep dive into dating history.
Okay.
We talk about the potential downsides of a complex dating history. It's like emotional baggage, the comparison trap, concerns about commitment.
Right.
But then we flipped the script.
We did.
And explored how those past relationships can actually be our secret weapons in the dating game.
I like that.
We talked about the importance of learning from each experience.
Yes.
Developing communication superpowers, building resilience, and embracing self-reflection.
On context.
Right, and we can't forget the importance of context.
Absolutely.
Recognizing that everyone's journey is unique and that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to dating and relationships.
Yeah, good stuff.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's got you thinking about your own relationship history.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I have one final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
What's one key lesson you've learned from a past relationship? And how might it positively impact your dating life moving forward?
That's a good one.
Something to ponder as you navigate your own unique dating journey.
I like it.
That's all for this deep dive.
Great.
And we'll catch you in the next episode.